My first day on The Walking Dead feels like an eternity ago.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for famous people who have the most unexpected vocal tones IRL.
I mean, I get enormous pleasure from people's surprise at that.
Number 30, Shaggy. The singer behind timeless hits like Boombastic and It Wasn't Me has an instantly recognizable voice.
You know she a go bring a whole heap of things up from the past. All the little evidence you better know for mass.
It is deep and raspy, perfect for toasting. However, that's not his real voice. The artist revealed on TikTok that he came up with his signature singing voice while serving in the Marines. It started as a mimicry of drill instructors in the military and made it to the studio simply because he thought it sounded cool.
Well, how long were you in the military?
I was there for 4 years.
4 years?
4 years. We fought in the first Gulf War.
Who knew it would make him a chart-topping hitmaker? Shaggy's natural voice, which is warmer, brighter, and considerably less gravelly, is heard in rare tracks like Big Up.
You want me to come up with more material?
I know, it was asking a lot.
Yeah.
There's almost so much
like,
gas in a tank.
Yeah, like Michael's, you must be Jamaican. You got mad jobs.
Number 29, Nancy Cartwright.
I'm actually stunned when people don't know that the voice of Bart really is a chick, you know? I say, yeah, I'm Bart Simpson, man. Who the hell are you?
This legend is one of the finest voice actresses in Hollywood. For years, she played Bart Simpson in The Simpsons, bringing laughter to millions around the world. Nancy grew older, but Bart stayed the same 10-year-old troublemaker. Obviously, she doesn't speak like a prepubescent boy in real life. However, listening to her switch from her gentle feminine voice to Bart's bratty nasal tone is always amusing.
Yeah, I think you and a lot of people, it still amazes me that people don't know, because I feel like I just blah, 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 blah all the time, you know?
When The Simpsons first came out, the network didn't want people to know a woman was behind the voice of TV's naughtiest little boy. However, as time passed, Cartwright stepped into the spotlight and received immense love from fans. Number 28, Lil Jon. Summers in the 2000s wouldn't be half as lit without this musician. Lil Jon paved the way for crunk and hip-hop, giving us bops like Get Low and Usher's Yeah. These hits have a permanent place in our party playlists because his energetic ad-libs never fail to get us hyped. However, contrary to his explosive musical persona, Lil Jon has a calm presence in real life. His natural tone, as heard in interviews, is mellow, smooth, and pleasantly deep. That only makes us respect the full force of his chants even more.
We shooting a video soon.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
So that's gonna be funny.
What a fun journey.
Funny.
You are a Renaissance man.
I'm trying, brother.
Number 27, Rowan Atkinson. The BAFTA TV award-winning actor is best known for his role as the mostly silent man-child, Mr. Bean. The character rarely spoke, both on the eponymous show and in the movies in the franchise. For scenes where he did speak, Atkinson gave him a low pitch, an exaggerated British accent, a pinched tone, and stiff delivery.
It's not just a painting. It's a picture of a mad old cow who he thought the world of.
For years, that's the voice fans associated the actor with. Only when they branched out to explore his other works did they realize that Atkinson's real voice has an elegant charm.
Johnny English, I'm here to see Pegasus. Still, no sense rushing things.
He is soft-spoken, and his British accent has a classic feel to it. Each word is crisply enunciated too, unlike Bean's muddled style. That said, we love both Rowan and Bean equally.
The thing I find most tricky is when people don't recognize you particularly, but half recognize you. You know, it's that strange thing of where they go...
Number 26, Ariana Grande. The Grammy-winning songstress has captivated fans all over the world with her impressive vocal range. Outside of music, she is also a talented actress with a knack for comedy. Her impressions of celebrities like Shakira, Britney Spears, and Christina Aguilera prove that she's a woman of many voices. However, what surprised fans the most was the difference between her real voice and the one we're used to hearing from her. In several interviews, the star seems to go back and forth between pitches.
Yeah. Of course, like with the Thank You Next hook, that's like one of my favorite stories, is
Victoria.
One moment, her voice sounds deep and velvety, and the next, it is light and airy, with a much higher pitch. Regarding this, Ariana clarified on the Smartless podcast that the shift, though surprising, is a deliberate habit to preserve her voice.
I'll change my vocal placement to kind of preserve, but that is just kind of something that's healthy for the voice and whatever.
Number 25, Pat Morita. The stand-up comedian turned Oscar-nominated actor is synonymous with his role as Mr. Miyagi in the Karate Kid franchise. The pearls of wisdom dropped by the karate master in his gentle but authoritative and measured tone stayed with us long after the movies ended.
Lesson for whole life. Whole life. Have a balance.
The character's voice is distinctly Japanese accented, but California-born Pat Morita, whose parents were Japanese immigrants, had an American accent.
I love it. I mean, you know, this is America, man. Japanese can do pretty much anything they want to do, born and raised here, this and that.
His real voice was also fairly higher than Miyagi's and lacked the character's sage-like gravity. Instead, he sounded pretty relaxed in interviews, which reflected the actor's friendly, warm, and natural humorous personality.
Because comics about that time, they were either a Jackie this or a Pat that, and a Pat fit. I mean, I don't look like a Jackie.
Number 24, Jennifer Coolidge. The celebrated actress is beloved for her iconic film and TV roles, such as Stifler's mom from American Pie, Paulette from Legally Blonde, and Tanya from The White Lotus. For each of these characters, Jennifer Coolidge developed a distinct voice, which came with its own unique quirks and inflections.
I'm taking orders from them and they're bossing me around, and they, start stealing my medications, and then they disappear. This is just how it goes with me.
These scene-stealing voices were exaggerated and often breathy with a languid sing-song quality. Many fans were surprised to find out that Coolidge doesn't draw out her words or have a naturally flirty cadence in real life. She still sounds effortlessly charismatic, especially with her rasp, but it's far from how some of her most eccentric characters sound.
O.J. Simpson told me he was going to get me my SAG card.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, he did.
Did he seem like a nice guy?
Well, yeah, but not that nice. He didn't get me my SAG card.
Number 23, Andrew Lincoln. This actor's breakout Hollywood role as Rick Grimes in The Walking Dead convinced many new fans that he was from the southern United States. This was because Grimes, who hails from King County, Georgia, has a strong southern accent, which is delivered impressively by Andrew Lincoln. From the rhythm to the intonation, the star nailed his character's voice.
Everyone who's made it this far, we've all done the worst kinds of things just to stay alive.
While there were some moments when his southern pronunciation spawned memes within the fandom, like how he said, "Carl," no one expected Lincoln to be a Londoner.
Carl!
His actual British accent is polished, and his real voice is a baritone with a smoothness you won't find in Rick's gruff tone. Needless to say, Andrew worked hard on Rick's accent, and it paid off.
The execs from AMC came down and said, "Where's the makeup?" And they all came in suits, and they walked, and within about sort of 3 minutes, they just went, "Okay, there's no makeup on the show."
Number 22, Daniel Day-Lewis. The three-time Oscar winner is widely recognized as a Hollywood legend. His portrayal of American characters, most notably the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, has earned him countless accolades. His American accent is as flawless as it gets, which often makes us forget that he's actually from across the pond.
That's why I'd like to get the 13th Amendment through the House and on its way to ratification by the states, wrap the whole slavery thing up forever and aye as soon as I'm able. Now! End of this month!
He's also a master of adopting distinct voices for his roles, going beyond just accents. When he's not inhabiting a character, Daniel Day-Lewis speaks in a soft and poised manner, with a graceful English accent. His voice effortlessly commands respect and attention without being loud. Even if he was narrating a grocery list, we could listen to him for hours.
She came close to making the film a couple of times with other people in place. And I was always hoping she would get to make that film, but after we were married, it never really occurred to me that we would do it together.
Number 21, Austin Butler.
Yeah, I just arrived this morning. Was up at 5:30 to drive up here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
From playing teen heartthrobs to embodying the king of rock and roll, this actor has come a long way. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis made him a superstar, earning him an Oscar nod. He was dedicated to method acting for this project, and it took a major toll on his physical health. While he eventually moved on from the character, fans noticed that he couldn't fully shake off Elvis's voice, which seemed to influence his natural cadence. Before Elvis, his normal voice sat in a higher register, and he spoke with little to no drawl.
As Will kind of goes from boy to man and has such a big loss at the end of season 1, how does he transform? What is the evolution of him? And
Nowadays, the actor sports a much lower and huskier voice, occasionally incorporating a subtle southern lilt. Needless to say, we're not mad at this new normal.
It really made me self-conscious for a second because I thought, am I being phony? Is this not my voice? And then I thought, no, I'd have to think consciously to not talk how I am right now.
Number 20, James Marsters.
I'm talking about me. Buffy, you've never met the real me.
Whether you were irritated whether he showed up, or you were hopelessly in love with him, Spike always brought fresh energy to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Actor James Marsters and his dashing British accent made it hard to be neutral on him. But for years, fans have been shocked over and over again when they hear Marsters' actual voice.
Yes, I have a fabulous California accent, naturally. And the London one, I had to learn slowly. It got better. It wasn't actually very good, I don't think, in the very beginning, in season 2. And Tony Head tutored me by force.
He's not British at all, and that brooding darkness he also brings to the voice is purely for the character's sake. He's actually a California native. When he speaks in a fairly neutral American accent and a lightness, totally at odds with his sound as Spike.
Do I know you?
Me? No. No, sir. I'm just an old pal of Xander's here.
Number 19, David Suchet.
Is there anything in the English cuisine that you like, Poirot?
The English, they do not have a cuisine, my friend. They have only the food.
Well, that's a bit harsh.
Like the meat, overcooked, the vegetables too soft, the cheese inedible. And the day the English create their own wines is the day I return home to Belgium.
For almost 25 years, the London-born actor disappeared into Agatha Christie's famously finicky Belgian detective, Hercule Poirot. David Suchet's performance was defined by its technical ambitions and attention to detail. He found Poirot's accent and voice by completely changing the way he sounded.
Quite the reverse. But this morning I see things more clearly, which is useful.
Well, bien alors. Of all the virtues, the English, they value usefulness.
That trademark delicate voice and crisp Belgian accent are actually a far cry from the actor's true voice, which has a deep and resonant tone. To find Poirot's voice, he had to find a mix between the sounds of French and Belgian, then use his head voice instead of his chest voice.
Poirot, when he's talking to you, will really fix on you. And his famous line is, if I can use his voice now.
Please do.
Madame, I listen to what you say, but I hear what you mean.
Number 18, Dacre Montgomery.
I heard you used to run this school. That's true. King Steve, they used to call him out.
The doe-eyed actor first made waves and sent hearts fluttering when he appeared as the gorgeous but deeply disturbed lifeguard Billy Hargrove on Stranger Things. He really commits to that character's intense bellowing and deep menacing voice.
You know whose fault it is. Say it. Max. Say it. Say it!
Billy is the quintessential 80s American bully, but Dacre Montgomery was actually born and raised in Australia. On top of that, his real voice is much more soothing to listen to when he's not playing such an abusive guy. There's something even sweet about his real voice, especially when you know he can go fully and horrifyingly evil.
There's a moment in the scene in the sauna when I smashed through the window and I'm yelling at my younger sister Max. And I think it's one of the only times that there's this like a expletive in the show, and it was so Australian. So Australian.
Number 17, Stephanie Beatriz. Detective Rosa Diaz has a pretty dark and intimidating presence. It's not just that she doesn't suffer fools. There's a brooding presence to her. She's like if Daria Morgendorffer grew up and suddenly decided to become a cop.
I'm fine at parties. I just stand in the middle of the room and don't say anything.
Actress Stephanie Beatriz's weighty, deep voice for that character is purely an invention. In real life, she's bubbly, and her voice naturally reflects that.
Can you go into Rosa mode?
Yeah, I can do it right now.
I mean, I've been doing it for
This is our 7th season. Our 7th season is airing now, so it's like, it's second nature now.
It's almost frightening how different she sounds when she's not in character as Diaz. But Beatriz's biggest stroke of genius is using her actual voice when the character is undercover. How deep does the deception go?
Excuse me, officer.
Yeah, sweetheart.
Sweetheart? Seriously, Hank, is that how you talk to women who come in here?
Jimmy Jabs.
I didn't even make it past one person.
Number 16, Katherine Langford.
That's right. Gonna adjust your whatever device you're hearing this on.
There's no one word to tell you why I do the things that
It's me, live and in stereo.
First coming to prominence in the controversial Netflix series 13 Reasons Why, Katherine Langford nailed her American accent. Not only did she have to play a main character, she had to narrate all of the early episodes. The margin of error was pretty small. Aside from slight vowel sounds here and there, she pretty much nailed it.
Have you ever in your life been able to confront an issue head on? Have you ever even had an issue?
If you didn't know she was actually Australian, you might not even notice. Appearances in Knives Out, Love, Simon, and further roles continued to cast her as American, leading to shock from viewers when they heard her Aussie dialect for the first time.
I'm a little bit musical, so if I listen to something, so like I had to do a Scottish accent for this, I don't know, for a film, and I was watching Braveheart, and I would just like repeat everything, so he'd be like, "Holoi," and I'd be like, "Holoi," and I don't know, like whatever.
So if some actor does a bad accent, they could really throw you off.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Number 15, Melanie Lynskey.
We are what we pretend to be. So we must be careful in what we pretend to be.
And I asked myself about the present, how wide it was, how deep it was, how much was mine to keep.
A well-rounded character actress can play anyone from anywhere. Melanie Lynskey has been dazzling TV audiences on the psychological thriller Yellow Jackets since 2021, and has been playing American characters for the better part of 30 years. But that flawless dialect is not her native one. Lynskey is actually from New Zealand.
The feeling of like, Britt and Jermaine got an HBO show, like, Taika won an Oscar. Like, it's so mind-blowing, people you've known since they were teenagers.
She's been altering her relatively high-pitched voice and Kiwi accent for projects since making the crossover to American movies in the late 90s. Kelly Clarkson was all of us when she was thrown off by Lynskey's real voice during an appearance on her daytime talk show.
I feel like I only see you in movies and shows, and I'm just like, wait, what? You, with your accent, yes, and I love New Zealand.
Get confused.
Number 14, Teller.
Teller, what are the origins of being silent on stage during your act?
You're asking me the exact same questions that the New York Times guy did, just as if they were right on the piece of paper.
Any person's voice would be a surprise if you've never heard them speak before. Teller is the silent half of the best-selling comedy magician double act Penn and Teller. While his partner Penn Jillette does the talking, Teller's silence is a huge part of the comedy.
I think we've shown that Penn and Teller don't need gimmicks. We don't need punchlines. We are indeed the best magicians working today.
His muteness is purely for the stage. It was a conscious choice he made to combat what he thought of as cliché magician patter. It's also his counterintuitive strategy to command attention. It's almost even more hilarious that after all that time not speaking, in reality, he just sounds like some guy.
You feel like an idiot if you're heckling a silent guy. And then eventually, working with Penn all these years, what I've discovered is there's something absolutely incredible that happens when you don't talk.
Number 13, Jodie Comer.
She's just arrived from New York after one too many nights on the wrong side of the bridge, and she has a really, really, really annoying accent.
The slippery assassin from the BBC's Killing Eve is a chameleon. She can slip into almost any accent so naturally that you almost forget there's a real person in there. This show was the first time many audiences, particularly Americans, really got to see actress Jodie Comer's immense talent for dialects and just being legitimately terrifying in general.
So, who do you want? Gap year tragedy who fell in love with her coke dealer. Sun cream heiress from Sydney.
Hers is actually a Scouse accent, a dialect native to Liverpool and its surrounding areas. It's a surprisingly strong sound for someone who can so easily dip in and out of other dialects with that much ease.
Like in the audition, it was like, she speaks many languages, and I was like, of course. Like, so do I. And then never thinking that I would it would happen. And then as each episode came through, I was like, oh, Russian, German, they kept going.
Number 12, Gilbert Gottfried. If there's one thing you can say about this comedian's voice, it's that it was distinctive.
Hiya, schmucks! 77 years ago, I was broke, just like you, but now I'm the president!
Grating and unmistakable, the late Gilbert Gottfried's shrill voice sounded like the wrong answer buzzer on a game show. The angrier he got, the more pronounced and funnier it became. But if you thought that was his real voice, we've got news for you. You've been fooled.
Oh! I hate it when they fight! Stop it!
Over the years, fans got rear peeks behind the curtain, and there was a very clear difference between his show voice and his real one. However, that strong Brooklyn accent is the real deal.
I don't think I could have imagined it, and I wish I could enjoy things fully, but I feel like I still haven't woken up and said, oh, this is my life.
Number 11, Marilyn Monroe.
Are you going to look for gold?
I could stand a little.
What would you do with it?
Do with it? Oh, buy fancy gowns, live in the swell hotels in the big city, go to the opera.
The movie star and style icon captivated the world with her highly stylized femininity. A delicate, breathy voice was a big part of Marilyn Monroe's star persona. In her most famous roles, she played on her presumed naivete, and that airy voice became a huge part of selling the fantasy.
Don't you know that a man being rich is like a girl being pretty? You might not marry a girl just because she's pretty, but my goodness, doesn't it help?
Some movies, usually the lesser-known ones, gave her a chance to use her true vocal placement, which was deeper and earthy. But it was rare that she really got to use it. While she made gold out of these characteristically dim-witted or passive roles, it's just as thrilling to hear her sound like a real person.
It takes me 2 seconds. It's taken... You've had 2 days. Sorry, George, but we can do it.
Number 10, Megan Mullally. What would classic sitcom Will and Grace be without its standout supporting character Karen Walker? Her shrill, nasally voice became a trademark of her character, making each line delivery hilariously iconic.
So listen, Jackie, Stan and I had this tropical getaway planned for next week, but seeing as how he's in the prison warding off French kisses from a 500-pound felon named Tiny, I got an extra ticket!
Actress Megan Mullally actually used her real voice in the pilot episode of Will and Grace, but from the second episode on, her voice became gradually higher as she settled into the quirks of her character.
Grace, you're what, 40?
I'll be 31 next month.
So I rounded up.
Karen Walker was such a breakout role for Mullally that many fans were surprised to learn that Mullally's real voice wasn't nearly as cartoonish as her characters.
The character needed an energy that my regular laconic speaking voice does not have. And so I just kept making it a little bit higher and a little bit higher. And then that became, a good character trait for her to have.
More recently, Mullally's real voice has become a bit more well-known due to her scene-stealing performances as Ron Swanson's ex-wife Tammy in Parks and Rec.
We're gonna spend 11 days in my cabin in the woods.
We bought 10 cases of Gatorade and a 40-pound bag of peanuts for energy.
Number 9, Steve-O. The rough, gravelly voice of this jackass star seems to fit his up-for-anything extreme risk-taking personality so well, it's surprising that it's not his real voice.
You think about how the last movie had, like, the credits, which showed us when we first started, and it was 10 years later.
Yeah.
And now it's another 10 years. Gotta say, I look great, though.
Even more shocking, Steve-O himself didn't know the sound of his real voice until just a few years ago. A meeting with an ear, nose, and throat doctor revealed that Steve-O had learned to speak entirely the wrong way. Rather than using his vocal cords, he spoke using his throat muscles.
He said that I'm using like the muscles above my vocal cords, which is making this, weird thing. And I was like, wow, Doc, like you're telling me after everything I've been through, I just suck at talking.
The star has been working with a vocal coach to practice speaking in a healthier way, and hearing his normal voice is pretty jarring. Now the dilemma is keep the voice he's known for or embrace his new, healthier speaking voice.
I worked with a vocal coach who was making some progress and teaching me to speak like, like a little bit more.
Number 8, Melissa Rauch. When Bernadette Rostenkowski was introduced in the 3rd season of The Big Bang Theory, actress Melissa Rauch was determined to make a memorable impression.
Don't take him too seriously. A lot of what he says is intended as humor.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's very funny.
Me neither, but he just lights up when I laugh.
Fans slowly grew to love the small but mighty microbiologist and her signature squeaky voice. After 10 years playing the same character on one of the most popular shows on television, Rauch became closely linked to her character.
Oh, hey, look, it's Bernadette.
I can't tell you how many times Dr. Fowler was going to give up, and I would say to her, Amy, as your best friend, I'm not going to let you quit.
For this reason, many Big Bang Theory fans are surprised when they discover that Rauch's voice sounds distinctly different from her characters. Interviews with the actress reveal that her squeaky voice was actually a brilliant character choice that made Bernadette instantly recognizable even before she appeared on screen.
Bernadette's voice is very similar to my mother's, except without the Jersey accent, But yeah, it's my mother. It's not quite that high, but it's in that tone, in that range.
And do people...
Number 7, Mia Goth. This actress has become a certified scream queen thanks to her recent roles in Ty West's X film series.
It's not about what I want anymore, Mitzi. It's about making the best of what I have.
Her impeccable Southern accent in roles of both Maxine Minx and Pearl sounds so believable that many are shocked to learn that Goth isn't from the South and she's not even American at all.
It's amazing. It's such an honor. I'm such a huge fan of his writing and the fact that he even knows that, this trilogy exists, and it's a trip. It's amazing.
Goth was born in London and lived in the United Kingdom, Brazil, and Canada throughout her childhood. But her natural speaking voice is distinctively English. Goth's ability to totally transform her voice is truly a testament to her incredible talent.
I came out here when I was 19. And the first place I stayed was in this little hotel, which funnily enough, I just drove past that hotel on my way to the Maxine premiere. So that felt very full circle, I guess. And then there was that Maxine billboard that was on Sunset for a little while.
Number 6, Iggy Azalea. This Australian musician moved to the United States at age 16 with dreams of becoming a famous rapper. It took a few years, but she eventually landed a chart-topping single with 2014's Fancy.
Like we bringing 88 back. What? Bring the hooks in where the bass at. Champagne spilling, you should taste that.
Azalea's voice in her music is clearly influenced by the rap and hip-hop artists who came before her. Given that the genre was created by and popularized by Black artists, this has led some to accuse Azalea of putting on a black scent in her music.
I just can't worry about no haters, gotta stay on my grind. Now tell me who that, they do that.
Interviews of Azalea speaking in her Aussie-accented natural voice further highlight the artificial nature of her performing voice.
Failure was really not an option for me. I had to keep going until I couldn't go anymore, and there was a point when I thought I was going to run out of money and I would have to go home, and that was right before I put out the first song of my mixtape called Ignorant Art, and I kind of did a bit of a gamble and I made this mixtape and it ended up paying off for me.
Number 5, Hugh Laurie. Of course, this entry will be no surprise to British viewers, but Americans who know Hugh Laurie from his longtime role on House might be surprised to hear his real voice.
With everybody being American around you, did it help make it more comfortable?
No, I still felt everything. It was like just trying to walk with everybody, and you're the one with a stone in your shoe. And everyone else is just floating along, and you're always going, that didn't sound right, that didn't sound right.
Laurie was born in Oxford, England, and rose to fame across the pond as part of a comedic duo with Stephen Fry.
You must have been delighted to hear the news of the big push.
Absolutely, sir. Our chance to show the Hun that it takes more than a pointy hat and bad breath to defeat the armies of King George.
That's the spirit.
Aside from a few film roles, Laurie was mostly unknown in the United States until House premiered in 2004.
Boys do a home search, girls do lab tests. Pretty sure that's not sexist.
Where have you been?
Picking up dry cleaning, filling up a tank, violating the dead.
Laurie's accent was so convincing, even House executive producer Bryan Singer didn't realize Laurie was British until after he'd already been cast. With Laurie in the starring role, the series was a massive success and ran for 8 seasons.
I got a flat. I know, right? So, don't send out the Marines. I should be back on the road in a few minutes. Okay, bye.
Number 4, Elizabeth Holmes. The infamous founder of the defunct blood testing company Theranos was known for her strikingly deep voice.
I work all the time, and I'm basically in the office from the time I wake up and then working until I go to sleep every day.
Many wondered whether it was genuine, digging through old interviews and talking with people from Holmes's past to ask whether she'd always spoken like that. This quickly revealed that her natural speaking voice was very different, and her deep baritone had been like a character for Holmes, putting on her market-disrupting startup founder persona.
I talked about it in an interview I did with Forbes that we made a decision to expand our test menu to include all the specialty and esoteric tests that are traditionally run only very infrequently, but cost a huge amount of money.
Once it came out that her Theranos technology was completely fake, Holmes was arrested and charged with fraud. While on trial, Holmes dropped the voice, some say in an effort to come across as softer and more genuine.
The baritone voice is now gone. She just talks in a normal voice.
Number 3, Larry the Cable Guy, Dan Whitney. Nebraska-born Dan Whitney rose to fame under a completely new name and a totally new voice.
All right, one more joke like that, I'm getting the hell out of here. All right, because that's uncalled for right there.
Better known as Larry the Cable Guy, his distinctive southern accent was so hilariously compelling that it got him cast in a massive Pixar franchise as the anthropomorphic tow truck Tow Mater.
I sure wish he'd hurry up and get back, because we got a whole summer's worth of best friend fun to make up for. Just me and McQueen!
The inspiration for his southern persona came from his college roommates from Georgia and Texas at the University of Nebraska, where Whitney studied drama and speech. With a clear passion for comedy and a talent for manipulating his voice, it's no surprise Whitney became successful with such a distinctive and memorable character.
I hang out with people that talk like that. So I picked it up in Georgia when I went to college. I'm able to talk like that. I can turn it on and turn it off anytime I want.
Number 2, Paris Hilton.
Sorry, I'm doing a cooking tutorial and I have none of the correct things. I don't know what this is, but it looks like it will work. Yeah, it's working.
Paris Hilton was everywhere in the early 2000s, and so was her trademark voice. Her breathy baby voice tone seemed to fit the persona of a ditzy socialite that was marketed to the public during her time on The Simple Life.
It's the smallest town ever. There's nothing. There's one store, one market, one gas station, one hair salon.
No one suspected her voice wasn't genuine, but Hilton revealed in 2020 that she had been putting on a character the entire time. Hilton, who survived abusive boarding schools as a teenager, says she created her ditzy blonde persona as a protective mask in response to her trauma.
Sometimes I feel like so many things, but sometimes this robot
And this character that I did, and talking with them, like I started remembering who I was before.
Though Hilton still frequently uses her character voice in public appearances, she noticeably switches to her natural voice anytime she's dealing with a serious topic.
My sweatsuit, my socks, being at home, and then all this other stuff is just part of the character.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Michael Jackson. There were many elements that made up the king of pop's unforgettable persona, one significant one being his high-pitched voice.
Remember something, just because it's in print doesn't mean it's the gospel. People write negative things because they feel that's what sells. Good news to them doesn't sell.
That distinctive voice was a signature of his music that seemed to carry over into his speaking voice, at least according to many public interviews. However, some fans point to certain concert footage and other videos of Jackson where he speaks in a more natural-sounding voice, alleging that this was his real voice. Liza Minnelli, a close friend of Jackson's, says she heard his natural speaking voice on rare occasions.
But with Michael, it's... When I first met Michael, he was a kid, you know? And as he grew up, he was so funny. He was really funny.
Like Paris Hilton, it appears that Jackson's voice was part of his public persona, and he used his real voice only in private and on serious occasions.
I was mesmerized. I've never seen a performer perform like James Brown, and right then and there, I knew that was exactly what I wanted to do for the rest of my life because of James Brown.
Were you pleasantly surprised or disappointed by these stars' real voices? Tell us in the comments.
That you're the absolute spitting image of that Mr. Bean.